My first job that I was actually an employee and had a W-2 for and all that stuff was HEB. I got hired a week before I turned 16. I remember I interviewed with Lowell and got hired on the spot. I used to catch the bus down there. But that was my first paycheck job. But when I was 11, I lied and said I was 13, and I babysat for a family like consistently. They were adorable. It was Tim, Tanya, and Tatiana, and their voicemail was like, "Hi, this is Tim. This is Tanya. This is Tatiana." And they were really cute, and I babysat for them for a couple of years. So that was my first time getting paid consistently. And then I sold Cool Cups and made mums. I was very entrepreneurial in high school, so I had a lot of little side businesses. So that was my first jobs. You didn't ask all of that, but yeah. The first thing that comes to my mind is to do what makes you happy. You say marketing or design style. My design style, I believe, is clean, not cluttered, but I like fine details. It's almost like the difference between, this sounds really prissy and girly, but if you buy a nicer, higher end purse, it's not that there's a lot of bells and whistles, unless it's a Betsy Johnson. She has lots of bells and whistles, but generally speaking, it's about the quality of each individual functional piece. So in my design aesthetic, I don't like a lot of bells and whistles. I like very refined details, light backgrounds with images barely fading through, things that you don't realize that you're noticing, but overall give you an impression that it's almost luxury. It's a luxury website because of the quality of the details. No, I am valuable. I'm not expensive. It's again, there's a value, and I think if anything, not to toot my own horn, but just this is something that I had to accept myself. If anything, my prices reflect the value that my clients receive. I don't offer bargain based prices. I don't discount my services because I do have quite a few years of experiences. I'm grateful for the different opportunities that I've had to work with people that inform my design. And it's just like when you hire a lawyer, you're not hiring somebody or a lawyer or a doctor. You're getting their experience, not just the action that they're performing on there. So am I expensive? No, I'm priced accurate and consistent with what value I bring to my clients. Flexibility and putting the client first. I know a lot of times when we go into building a marketing plan, we think about ourselves and what we would want and what we already know. We come already informed with the jargon and the ideas and the biases that we have for our own industry and the services that we provide. Whereas your customers don't always enter in with those same biases and those same perspectives. So when you're building a marketing plan, you really have to consider your customer's perspective. And a lot of times you have to step outside of yourself to do that. You may not even be capable of that. And that's why it's good to have focus groups. It's good to do buyer personas. It's good to actually have those conversations, those honest conversations with those people who would be your ideal clients to really understand what they're looking for and how they see your product or service. I love getting to solve problems. I love working with clients that bring me new ideas or dream big and really have some things that they want to do, and really having the opportunity of figuring out how to get that done, figuring out how to do it well, and being able to look back and say, hey, guess what? You're on a billboard now. Hey, guess what? Here's your book. And this was just an idea a few months ago, and now here you are signing books on tour. I like diving into new and different projects. I am not going to run away with your money if you ask me to build a website. Unfortunately, I've heard that way too many times, but I've been doing this getting paid to build websites and or graphics for almost 18 years now. It's 2018. So 17 and a half years, because October of 2000 is when I first started getting paid. I was still in college. So no, I'm not running anywhere. I'm stable. I own my house. I'm here. I have kids looking at me. I have, a character and I have consistent history of being here and doing what I do. A good website is one that achieves what you want it to do. So if you're selling widgets, if you have the most beautiful website ever and it's gorgeous pictures of widgets, but nobody actually goes on there and is excited to buy a widget, whether you have e-commerce and you do it online, or if they need to call you to get a widget, if nobody moves closer to deciding to buy your widget, then your website might be pretty, but it doesn't work. So a good website is one that, yes, it looks pretty because we want to leave an impression of trustworthiness. People want to go online and make sure that you are a legitimate business. And if you have a free website tag down at the bottom, or if it's poorly done, or your logo is outdated, then you're not going to give that feeling of this is a legitimate business. I can trust putting my credit card information in. So a good website is one that looks good, but also functions and helps walk people through the sales process. Or if you're a nonprofit, it walks people through the process of understanding why they should donate or volunteer their time. It has to function. It has to actually work. My ideal client is one that is so busy and enthralled and wrapped up in their business and their dreams and what they're trying to accomplish, that they understand that they need to have people around them that have the time to dive into their specialty. We do that with accountants, we do that with lawyers. My thing is marketing and using technology to promote businesses and businesses and nonprofits. So my ideal client trusts me with that, and I take that trust very seriously. I take that responsibility of being that person who stays on top of the trends, who stays on top of the technology and understands how to use those very seriously. I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've had to work with Fortune 500 companies, worked with nonprofits, worked on political campaigns, state and even nationally, been able to contribute to those. So I have a broad variety of experience to bring to bear in every design project, every marketing plan that I create. But that being said, I'm a learner. I love learning, so I'm always have a audiobook or a YouTube in my ear, so I'm constantly gaining new experiences to bring to the next day. So to answer your question, I'm more experienced every day than I was the day before. Being married with kids and getting progressively more happier and more stable in our marriage, and trying to bring Christ into our marriage. I think that's the biggest accomplishment, because not that there's not eternal implications with everything we do, but I think the marriage union and the fact that it's modeled, or the marriage union is modeled on Christ with his church, just goes to show just how important that is. I mentioned earlier, I only work with people who I feel passionate or I feel an affinity towards their particular project. So I would say when you work with me, I'm not just a pixel pusher. I'm not somebody that's just going to put up a blue website because you said you wanted a blue website. You have me all in. I'm part of the team. And my goal is to lend my skill set toward the end of meeting your dream or meeting your goal. So you don't just have somebody that's going to do a thing. I'm part of the team here to help you obtain your goal.